What's going on, everybody? This is the Blockchain Backer bringing you the latest cryptocurrency news and analysis. And man, it's been a wild 24 hours, 12 hours. I don't know. I was up late last night watching these charts, but we've had a lot of price action over here in the cryptocurrency market. I do have the Bitcoin price chart pulled up right here in front of us. We are going to be bouncing around throughout the rest of the market because we have now broken up into critical price levels. We've seen the total altcoin market cap get above all Fibonacci retracement levels. The total market cap's getting there as well. We've got Bitcoin above the 702 retracement level. We've got Ethereum up there fighting it as well. So we're going to be looking around the whole market right now because we're at this critical price level for just crypto, right? So this is a very normal area where reversals can show up in this market, but also breaking through these levels can indicate that this market is ready to push even higher and go set additional all-time highs. So everybody's on edge, or at least I am absolutely on edge right now in anticipation of what's going to happen here. We'll start talking right here about the Bitcoin price chart. First, let me point to my Twitter. Yesterday, I was just posting like crazy all throughout the evening because there was a lot of price action happening as we were reaching up into these price levels. So if you're not following me on Twitter yet, follow me on Twitter if you want to get updates late at night if something crazy is happening. But essentially, it was just a bunch of updating as the prices were starting to finally reach up to those really critical price levels here for Bitcoin and for the total altcoin market cap. With Bitcoin now up here above the 702 retracement, still below that 786. For those who don't understand what any of this means, typically when markets move in a trending behavior, they'll have retracements before they continue their trends down. And we use these Fibonacci tools to try to measure out how high the retracement can move or how high the move back to the upside can go before it turns over and does it again. So when we look at these retracements, what we're trying to see is, can we get through these things? And if we can get through these things, they can indicate that we're not trending in a particular direction, but just that this was our pullback and now it's time to continue moving higher up, rather than this being our pullback and now it's time to continue moving down. So we want to see ourselves get through these retracement levels. We're seeing optimistic signs over here on the total market cap, which has broken through all Fibonacci retracements. So this is going to include all of cryptocurrency, all of the altcoins, and including Bitcoin. The total market cap of crypto is above all Fibonacci retracements, and it has taken out this level over here. That's optimistic. Same thing goes for when we're just looking at the altcoin market. So if we remove Bitcoin from it and we just look at what the altcoin market is doing, we can see that the altcoin market is even outperforming Bitcoin to a degree. Bitcoin is still somewhere around right here. However, the altcoin market has broken above the very last Fibonacci retracement level, including that one right there. So we're seeing really optimistic signs for further up in this market right now. But we still have to recognize that Bitcoin is the king. The Bitcoin does make the decisions in this market. And we can also see that the second largest cryptocurrency in the cryptocurrency market, Ethereum, has yet to clear above that last Fibonacci retracement level as well. So we have taken out over here, we have taken out the 702, but we still do have one final retracement left. So Ethereum, number 2, has not crossed through the final Fibonacci retracement level. Bitcoin, the largest cryptocurrency, has still not crossed through that last Fibonacci retracement level. So we still have some caution out there to wait for, even though we have seen the total market cap cross above it, and even though we've seen the total altcoin market cap cross above it. Now, one thing I did mention in yesterday's video is that some of the signs that I look for that we're going to be breaking to the upside is if we can see other altcoins kind of leading the way. If something else can tell us the story ahead of time, that's usually a pretty good indicator. Still, at this point, we don't have anything that's really actually getting away from the rest of the market and leading the way right now. Everything is still kind of doing the same thing. So I still have this exact same caution that I had yesterday. It's just more exciting now because, hey, we're much closer to that decision having to be, getting made right now. But nothing yet has completely broken out. So I'm still just as cautious as I was, but things are shifting a little bit more optimistic. You have to be really careful in these types of situations because as we get here, it's normal for people to get excited. It's normal for people to think that, hey, things are breaking up and everything's recovered and we're all good. But we still are in that area where caution needs to be exercised right here. And we don't have anything else in the rest of the market indicating that we're breaking out like crazy yet. I'm really happy to see us get through that 702. That's always the big one for me. And like I've been showing throughout the last 2 weeks, back in 2017, when tops come in and when you ABC correct, that 702 retracement level right here can be an absolute nightmare. And even as we trended down right here, we could see that the 702 was the big nightmare the whole way down. You can see that every single time it made a pullback, that's exactly where it would go to. And then it would turn on itself and rotate down, which is what it did twice, both times go into that exact same level, 702 once again, and then rotating down. So we can see that Bitcoin has cleared through that level. We also know that Bitcoin retraced to that level at the end of the 2017 bull run. So optimistic to see it get through, but definitely we're not in the clear yet with the 786 still residing above us, and with this thing also happening to correlate with that 786 as well. So if we see us get through that, the big price level is really going to be clearing above that $55,000. 55.1, 55.2. Things might start getting exciting in here, but still have to remain cautious. But still, we're at that deciding point. Now I've swapped us over here to a percentage scale here, so you just kind of you'll get where I'm going with this. So we could see that we're retracing back here on Bitcoin, getting up into these higher retracement levels. If you've been following this channel for a long time or kind of paying attention to what's been going on with me and why I've been rotating out of Bitcoin and getting into the altcoins, is because I'm preparing for an alt season. And my opinion has been that we're in a similar situation here as we were in 2013. This was our pullback. The altcoins all pulled back about 40% each. And then as Bitcoin started to recover, then we started to see the altcoin market really start to take off and deviate away from what Bitcoin was doing. But we can see that kind of the deviation really began with the altcoins right on over here. You can see a lot of them kind of just starting to kind of break away at this moment right here. So we're going to kind of put a little bit of a Fibonacci right here on the percentage scale over here on Bitcoin, and see that if you look closely right back down over here, as Bitcoin pulled all the way down, pulled back up, look at the area where we were battling in here, right? We were able to battle at this 618, then we got through up to the 702, and then as we were battling around in here, eventually Bitcoin did break up higher, but battling up in here, this is where the altcoins started to really get away from Bitcoin, which is where we are right now. So it's like this big moment, right? It's like, okay, are we about to see these altcoins really pop out of here, get away from Bitcoin and get that alt season going? Or do we have a pullback and are we ABC correcting? So that story will get told. And I think we're waiting for that moment that I'm talking about, right? I haven't seen anything really start to kind of break away from the market yet and tell us the story yet. But those are the things we're looking for. If you start seeing some, and I'm not talking about stuff that's ranked like number 200 or number 300, and it's just, it's a low liquidity coin, it's a low market cap coin, and boom, it triples itself because, well, there's a lot of money in the crypto market and it could just all get jammed into one low cap altcoin. But I'm talking like if we see something within the top 30, all of a sudden start to rampage, that's an early sign that we're looking for. Especially if we get more than one of them doing it, we might already be starting alt season. And that's what I'm really waiting for. All of my planning, all of my work, all of the things that I have done leading up to this moment have been to prepare for an alt season that I'm looking to start somewhere right around here. We've seen the alt season start in this area. We've seen Bitcoin come up here and the alt season start in this area. The thing we don't want for an alt season would be a further pullback. That means we have to add a lot more time, and a lot more time may just be several weeks. And I know for a lot of people they don't have several weeks. They've been in this market for maybe a couple of weeks, and that would mean I have to double the amount of time that I've already been in here. But for people like me and for people who've been around with my channel for a long time and we've been in this market for years, a couple of weeks is not that big of a deal. But that's the things we're looking for in the short-term time frame. Can we start to see some altcoins really start to break away while we're in here? Or if Bitcoin does move up higher, can we start? That's going to be a really good sign. I think if Bitcoin takes out this high, get ready. We have alt season that is just like on the brink of happening everywhere. And when we look back, for those who are in XRP, this is this. I know people want to look at XRP's price chart every day, but I've been trying to explain in the explainer videos that I've done on XRP. This is what we're waiting for. We're waiting for the alt season to begin, and the signals we look for are that in 2013, alt season started to break away right in here as Bitcoin was in between that 702 and that 786, and then it really started to break away. And then in the end of 2017, we could see where it happened as well. I'll put a fib down on that pullback that happened right there. And we could see that the alt season started to break away right here. Who's our first one that ended up going? Litecoin ended up going as Bitcoin was back up in this 702, 786 area. And then the remainders of them continued to break up as Bitcoin started to kind of go sideways in here. So that is where I think we are. What we want to see is, I guess, Bitcoin either go a little bit higher, then turn sideways, or go sideways from here. And the signs that we're looking for is even if we can just get a couple of these things to start giving us an early indication. Right now, we don't have it, but that's what we're looking for. Anything taking off should, and even if you don't own it, you should be celebrating anything taking off, because we have shown over and over again that in alt seasons, everything has a tendency to take off. Throughout every alt season that we've ever had, all of the altcoins go. So just seeing a couple of them go, even if you don't own them, seeing the first one start to go is really optimistic. But in summary, that's really what I'm looking for throughout today and tomorrow. And I don't know if the story will be different tomorrow, is that we're going to either see Bitcoin start to kind of trend sideways up in here, and we'll be looking for some altcoins to start popping out and deviating away from what Bitcoin is doing, or let's go ahead and see Bitcoin start to crank its way up and give that further optimism that things are improving and things are better. And then we can really start to see those altcoins start to go. But otherwise, if we stay flat in here, just start looking for other altcoins to start going, or look for Bitcoin to break up. But in the end, we have to remain extremely cautious, understanding that Bitcoin has still not crossed that last Fibonacci retracement level, and that a potential move to the downside is still in the cards. Right now, we have no signals of any altcoins going yet, so we have to presume that is still absolutely a possibility. But once we start getting signals that altcoins are popping up, we can start kind of pulling that wall of worry down. But right now, that wall of worry still has to absolutely remain up for me, so long as the altcoins haven't started popping off yet, and as long as we are below that Fibonacci retracement level. But seeing that total market cap get up there does start to bring some optimism, along with that total altcoin market cap getting up there as well. So it's a big, exciting moment. We'll have to wait and see how things play out. But fingers crossed, and anything can happen right here. But as for exciting moments, this is probably the most exciting moment we've had in several weeks. So yikes, here we go. But all right, that's going to wrap it up for this one. I hope that you guys are having a great day. I'll keep an eye on this throughout the day, and if we get anything crazy happening, maybe I'll be back today, because I am getting this video out earlier today. Whenever there's a lot of action, it's a lot easier for me to record the content. Whenever we're just kind of slowly creeping up to retracement levels, it gets a little bit more difficult. But now that we're there and in the exciting moment, I'm able to get this thing out a little bit earlier. So we'll see what happens throughout the day. We'll see if I catch you guys later. Definitely follow me on Twitter. If you'd like to get a better understanding of the things that I'm looking at and hoping for in this market, you can check out my website over here. This is bcbacker.com. I have a bunch of videos on here where I deep dive into the previous Bitcoin bull runs and the different altcoin market cycles, tying them all together, looking at those kind of charts to see the timing of when things do have occurred previously, and trying to apply that to today's market right now. I talk about mathematics, rebalancing, percentages, what I look for. I talk about my particular exit plans in here. So you can check out my website over here. It's bcbacker.com. Follow me over here on Twitter at bcbacker. And I want to thank you guys so much for watching my channel. If you could, please like this video and give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can be notified of when I create new content and when I go live. As always, this is not investment advice, and I am not a financial advisor, but if you ever need a pick-me-up or a little bit of reassurance, just remember that the blockchain backers got your back. Have a good one.